Good morning. I'm going to discuss about anemia. Definition of anemia. Anemia comes from Greek word anema, meaning without blood. Beside the terminology, official definition by WHO is a condition in which number of red blood cells or their oxygen carrying capacity is insufficient to meet the physiological needs, which vary by age, gender, altitude, and pregnancy status. Definition of anemia practically decrease the level of hemoglobin. So WHO have cut off for anemia age, sex group, age 6 months up to 59 months, hemoglobin cut point is 11, less than that said to be anemia. 5 to 11 years, 11.5, 12 to 14 years, 12, males above 15 years, 13, females above 15 years, 12. Severity of anemia is also said by WHO in number: mild, moderate, and severe. Less than 8 is severe for most of the age except age less than 59 months, which less than 7 considered as severe. Moderate is 8 up to 11 in most of the ages, and 11 up to 12 is considered mild. Burden of anemia, not only in Ethiopia, worldwide, it poses significant economic burden. Why? Because it causes low physical productivity and low neurocognitive product. Classification of anemia is physiological as well as morphological classification. So when we come to the classification, depends on physiological. One is deficiency. That deficiency could be from dietary intake, increased demand, life organ, in high growth rate, decreased absorption at malnutrition. And the other economic is for bone marrow failure, like single cell line, could be because of red cell precursor to congenital demand paraffin acquired beta carocytes and white cell precursor congenital neutropenias. Bone marrow failure could be from the failure of all cell lines like congenital meningoencephalomyelitis, dyskeratosis congenita, acquired idiopathic drugs, radiation, and HIV, Hep B and Hep C infections. Bone marrow failure could be because of infiltration by the malignant cells, leukemia, myelofibrosis, or fat from benign like storage disorder. And it could be this hematopoietic anemia, it's like anemia of chronic disease and renal hepatic disease. The second physiological anemia is because of blood loss. This could be acute or chronic. Acute could be from surgery, bleeding from any site and menorrhagia. Chronic could be GI bleeding and genitourinary bleeding. The other type of physiologic anemia is hemolytic anemia. This could be from intracellular defect or extracellular defect. Intracellular defects could be from congenital like membrane defect, enzyme defect, hemoglobin defect, and some acquired could be there. Extracellular defects autoimmune like warm or cold and the fragmentation of hemolysis from the IC, ATP, and hypersplenism. Consolidate classification based on red blood cell size, that is like microcytic, normocytic, macrocytic type of anemia. So it depends on the age and the severe level depends on the age, so that we consider that. The clinical manifestation of anemia is lethargy, easy fatigability, gross retardation, behavioral changes like reduced attention span, irritability, poor school or performance. And if that is severe, they could lead to shortness of breath and health failure that can have edema. Other manifestations of like, for example, specific to iron deficiency anemia can be beta, breath holding spells. Beta is where child try for uh, soil or stone like or generally an edible things. A tingling sensation is for vitamin B12 deficiency is more of neurology. Other most clinical manifestation is specific. For example, in hemolysis, the patient may have jaundice or yellow discoloration of eye or collateral urine. Bleeding disease symptoms, stool frequency, and a changing color of the stool like clay type of the stool. Menstrual history in girls can be taken. Clinical approach of the child with anemia. First of all, if the child is anemic, then can the anemia be explained by the primary disease or what is the type of anemia and what cause of anemia is the most important. There are some pointers in history that we may lead to mm, identify the cause. For example, in neonatal, cause most common cause of is blood loss. This could be from fetal-maternal hemorrhage or frequent sampling when the patient is in inpatient. Hemolysis is another cause that is most commonly beyond RH incompatibility. And the other cause of hemolysis, 3 months up to 6 months, physiological anemia of the infants is common. 6 months to 18 months, thalassemia and iron deficiency anemia is the most common in our setup. Children and adolescents, most required causes should be considered. Female menstrual bleeding should be asked. Ethnicity is one of the points in history. For example, in Ethiopia, Gambia, and the border area, common is from sickle cell and whether glucose 640 difference can be said. In Middle East or Asia countries, thalassemia is common. Family history, in that case, you should consider congenital anemia or hemolytic anemia. This congenital anemia can be X-linked, right? Autonomous, dominant, autonomous recessive type of inheritance can be said. Okay. Different bone marrow transplant in patient. In that case, consider hemoglobinopathy, bone marrow aplasia. Dietary, predominantly milk-based diet, nutrition anemia, pica, iron deficiency anemia. Okay. In goat milk, folic acid deficiency. Okay. Another point that fever with acute onset pallor in malaria endemic area, consider malaria, chronic diarrhea, prior surgery, liver kidney vitamin B deficiency, blood ingestion like salicylate, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug or thromboxane, chloramphenicol, penicillin, teicoplanin, fludarabine, primaquine, salvadax. Some can cause megaloblastic anemia like phenytoin, zidovudine, trimethotrip, primetamine drug combination. Physical examination. First is look for vital signs whether the patient is heart failure or not. If there is elevated blood pressure, consider that anemia because of renal disease. Okay. Other you can see for pallor, claving, ectasis, lymphadenopathy. Try to examine pallor, conjunctiva, palm, bed of the nail. Some hemolysis fasces Okay, you can get like frontal parietal bulging, large head, depressed nasal bridge, malar prominence, sallow complexion, maloccluded teeth. Okay, do you identify this one? This is a child with the type of face. Okay, you can check her hair and the thumb is like other finger. It almost looks index finger. So this is diamond black banana. This child identifies this child is almost triangular type of face. Okay, when you see this triangular face, this is Fanconi issues. So on critical examination, we check for eye, for microcornea, Fanconi anemia, conjunctival retinal hemorrhage, that case, ricket cell disease, oral cavity, glossitis, angular stomatitis, belly tank, nutrition anemia, nail, lato, nuclear, cholinergia, brittle nail, stratotic nail, stratocongenital. Proton B12 deficiency, nickel hyperpigmentation. This is glossitis in the stomach. This most of the time is iron deficiency anemia. So as you see, the tongue is totally reddened. This is what we call glossitis. Here, the disease it's falling the nails, the stratotic hair nail bed. Here you can see Colinokia, what we call a spooning type of nail. This is also a deficiency anemia. Here, vitamin B12 deficiency, as you can see on the then there is what we call hyperpigmented knuckles. Here, here you can see darkened joints. This is what we call uh, different type of manifestation. Reading the manifestation and ultimately is other skeletal changes in Fanconi anemia and the thrombocytopenia with absent radius syndrome is absent radius, absent or bifid thumb, the phalangeal thumb in Fanconi anemia, polydactyly, syndactyly, short stature, and with a joint swelling and erythema. In leukemia, juvenile idiopathic arthritis, and SLE. Skeletal and spinal. This is a child with dyskratos congenita. Is one of the congenital malformation. The documentation like Caffarello spotis in Fanconi anemia, chronic leg ulcer, sickle cell, DIC, and hemangioma, Wasserbach-Merritt syndrome. This is Patch-Merritt syndrome in capillary hemangioma that leads to DIC. So the manifestation is thrombocytopenia and DIC. This is because of some hemangioma. For example, this hemangioma can lead to what we call Wasserbach-Merritt syndrome when the patient has DIC and the thrombocytopenia. Systemic examination of child suspected for anemia. One, hepatosplenomegaly. This hepatosplenomegaly can be isolated splenomegaly and with some systemic feature or like fever or with lymphadenopathy as well as without lymphadenopathy. Most of it that it is associated with other side. Lymphadenopathy consider malignant. Without lymphadenopathy is because of chronic bleeding, like in thalassemia, megaloblastic anemia. If it It associated with fever, consider infection like malaria and other systemic feature could be steroid storage disease. Other splenomegaly, consider enteric fever, portal hypertension, hypersplenism, tropical splenomegaly means hyperreactive malaria syndrome, immune hemolytic anemia, and Monogenous leukemia, chronic myeloid leukemia also manifestations is splenomegaly can be yes splenomegaly. Systemic examination, when you examine central nervous system, the child is irritable, peripheral neuropathy can be there attacks. And you can also get stroke in sickle cell anemia and stroke. Cardiovascular, um, well, next is laboratory evaluation to childhood anemia. The first initial investigation is CBC. Then RBC and CBC index. The other is we should see for the other cell like white cell and the platelet count. Most importantly, we show for the reticulocyte indices and the others are peripheral blood smear. If there is suspicious, we can do confirmatory mean corpuscular volume. It means average size of a single red blood cell. So the normal range is between 80 and 100 or children greater than 10 years. So its unit is mTOR. In children between 8 and 10 years, you can do the lower limit and upper limit by this. Answer is mean corpuscular hemoglobin. This is the amount of a single red blood cell size. Okay? This average amount of hemoglobin in a single red blood cell. So the unit is picogram in the normal range between 6 to 30. Other red cell disease mean corpuscular hemoglobin concentration. This does mean the concentration of hemoglobin within the red blood cell. This means how dense is hemoglobin inside the red blood cell. Okay, so the unit is gram per deciliter. So you can do hemoglobin divided by hemoglobin. Normal value subject to 234 gram per deciliter. Cellular dehydration will increase. So that hereditary phagocytosis, glucose 6-phosphate deficiency, hemolytic anemia, sickle cell disease, and the severe. Another important investigation is reticulocyte count. What is reticulocyte is? It is immature red blood cell. That means nucleated RBC that still contains RNA. So it is visualized by staining with some vital dyes. Normal range would be between 0.5% to 1.5%. Useful in determining sometimes in the response of bone marrow. It shows the bone marrow. And the next is reticulocyte indices. These reticulocyte indices are reticulocyte count, corrected reticulocyte count, and absolute reticulocyte count. So it is reticulocyte count is a number of reticulocytes in total random blood sugar. So it will be multiplied by 100. Correct reticulocyte is the reticulocyte of the patient times patient's hematocrit. That will be divided by normal hematocrit. So the cut point of normal hematocrit is considered to be 45 degrees. Whether the absolute reticulocyte count is a number. This number is a actual number of molecules in 1 liter of whole blood. So it is calculated as absolute reticulocyte count is equal to retic percent times random blood red blood cell count divided for 100. So this is the whole absolute reticulocyte count. So the normal range is between 25,000 up to 75,000 per microliter. It is not that will be different altitude of the living as well as the unit we use. Reticulocyte production index. It corrects for the degree of reticulocyte immaturity. It is corrected retic count divided for shift correction factor. So retic count production index greater than 3 indicates there is a good response, normally functioning bone marrow. And the other, there are adequate nutritional like iron or vitamin B12. But if this reticulocyte production index is less than 2, it is bone marrow is not proliferating well, or the maturation is uh, not there. So the degree of maturity is depends on, for example, marrow normalized and reticulocyte count per day is if the hematocrit is normal 45, so the bone marrow stay will be 3.5 days, and so the correction factor will be 1, no, not delay. But if the hematocrit is decreasing, the marrow normalized and the reticulocyte stay in bone marrow will decrease because they are releasing fast into the peripheral blood. So for example, if it decreases by 10, it's around 3 days. But this peripheral blood current is stable increase, right? 1.5. You can see that 1.5. So this is what we call correction factor. So we use this correction factor for reticulocyte production. So high reticulocyte count shows the bone marrow response. There is good bone marrow response. So in hemolysis, hemorrhage, splenic sequestration, sepsis, recovery from iron or vitamin deficiency will show high reticulocyte count. When the laboratory showed low reticulocyte count, that means bone marrow is not working. That like plastic anemia, transient erythroblastopenia of childhood, pure red cell aplasia, like bone marrow infiltration by lipids or malignancy. There is what we call immature reticulocyte fraction, where we have immature reticulocyte to total rate count. So it is early and sensitive index of erythropoiesis. If immature reticulocyte fraction is greater than 5%, this indicates adequate marrow response to anemia. Clinical significance this elevated in ALL myelodysplastic syndrome. But if this immature reticulocyte fraction is zero, this is aplastic anemia. Patient chemo marker of bone marrow engraftment is also showed bone marrow recovery. So, when absolute reticulocyte count as well as immature reticulocyte fraction both are raised or elevated, this shows hemolysis acute hemorrhage. But if immature reticulocyte fraction is elevated and absolute reticulocyte count is low, this erythropoiesis as well as myelodysplastic syndrome. If both are decreasing, decreased marrow production and plastic anemia is the good example. Approach to uh, child with diagnosis of anemia. This is diagnosing the anemia by when hemoglobin is low. Next, is this associated with abnormality of other cell line like white blood cell or platelet? So in that case, bone marrow examination would be must. But if abnormality is restricted to only red cell series, here we do reticulocyte count. That means his bone marrow is responding. In that case, reticulocyte count will be raised. So we will investigate for blood loss, hemolytic anemia. Okay. If the reticulocyte count is not raised that degree of anemia, we do red cell indices, whether this is microcytic anemia, normocytic anemia, microcytic anemia, because this will show nutritional deficiency. Human cause of anemia based on RDW and MCV. MCV low, that means microcytic anemia. With RDW normal, that is thalassemia. If RDW is high, this is iron deficiency anemia. Normocytic anemia, most of the time, is acute blood loss, but you can get in hereditary steatosis. In the RDW high and the MCV is normal, in that case, uh, vitamin B12, folate deficiency, and sickle cell anemia. High MCV, RDW is high, that is folate deficiency or vitamin B12 deficiency. But if RDW is normal, consider a plastic anemia. Peripheral smear. If the peripheral smear, in peripheral smear, this is morphologic category. This morphologic category, you should see, this is what we call the red blood cell with inside by white, more white. This is hypochromic. Other, the size of this one compared to the nucleus of small lymphocyte, if it is below that below the lymphocyte, nucleus of lymphocyte, this is what they call small number. So that's microcytic. Okay. If 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 RBC is normal shape like a discoid and the central is white and is proportional to the ring, so this is normochromic. And if the size of WBC to the lymphocyte, peripheral lymphocyte, nucleus of lymphocyte is proportional, we say normocytic. Okay, so the opposite is said to be macrocytic. Macrocytic. Specific red cell morphological abnormality on peripheral is made. If you get target cell, consider thalassemia and is post-splenectomy. Sometimes in sickle cell, when the function of spleen not compare to the high is the RBC lysis, in that case also you can get target cell. Spherocyte is inherited spherocytosis acquired autoimmune hemolytic anemia, Acanthospastic DIC, echinocyte or bird cell in dehydration, liver disease, and pyruvate kinase deficiency. Histiocyte would be there in DIC, severe hemolytic anemia, hemolytic uremic syndrome, and MAHA or SLE, prostatic bulb. Elliptocyte is hereditary elliptocytosis, iron deficiency anemia, sickle cell disease, thalassemia major. Basophilic stippling, thalassemia alterate, and iron deficiency anemia lead cause. Oil jelly bodies, post-splenectomy, as well as previously, sickle cell anemia, megaloblastic anemia, and this erythropoietic anemia. Rabot ring body, pernicious anemia, due to toxicity. Hen's body, thalassemia, asplenia, and liver disease. Teardrop cell, thalassemia major, leukoplastoid myeloproliferation syndrome. Nucleated RBC in newborn hemolytic anemia. Immune hemolytic anemia. Hemoglobinuria, difficulty in close matching. Clumped RBC like this. Spherocytosis, intense red rise, homeostasis positive. Or the finding on immune hemolytic anemia. Leukoerythroblastic picture on peripheral smear, seen with extramedullary hematopoiesis and bone marrow infiltration. Most commonly leukemia or solid tumor, myelofibrosis, epidemic. Group cells, nucleated RBC, low normal increased WBC count with small to moderate numbers of metamyelocystis, myelocytes, and promyelocytes. Lymphocytosis with large died platelets. So this is leukoerythroblastic picture on peripheral blood smear. This is say myelocyte. This one you can see normal red blood cell. Approach to microcytic anemia. First, we should do reticulocyte count. After reticulocyte count, the reticulocyte count is normal or reduced. It is we should do serum ferritin or serum iron total binding capacity. If serum iron is low and the ferritin is also low, meaning total iron binding capacity is increased. This diagnosis what iron deficiency anemia. Low serum iron, normal or high ferritin, and the normal or low total iron binding capacity. In that case, consider anemia of chronic disease. So to support this anemia of chronic disease, we do ASR or CRP. So this will show inflammatory disease. If the reticulocyte count is reduced or normal and serum iron is normal, total iron binding capacity is normal, and ferritin is also normal. In that case, we should suspect hemoglobinopathies so that hemoglobin electrophoresis should be done and the thalassemia may be diagnosed. In microcytic anemia, if reticulocyte count is increased, this shows a bone marrow response is good. So that we should do peripheral smear for red blood cell morphology, so tests for hemolysis, and that we will test for hemolysis, serum bilirubin, low total. So in this case, sideroblastic anemia is what we consider. Okay. Microcytic anemia, the iron indices, red blood cell count, red distribution, Menzer index. This is most importantly which will identify thalassemia from iron deficiency anemia. As you know, MCV is high red blood cell count ratio in iron deficiency anemia, but it will be low in beta thalassemia rate. Other is anemia of chronic disease from iron deficiency anemia and thalassemia. Most importantly is the pathogenesis of anemia of chronic disease depends on hepcidin level. Hepcidin that will be produced by liver as reactant. This will be high in anemia of chronic disease that will inhibit absorption of iron from intestine and macrophage. So that will lead to anemia of chronic disease. The other soluble transferrin receptor will be suggestive of the deficiency anemia from other microcytic anemia. New indices for iron deficiency anemia are here. You can have reticulocyte hemoglobin, which is a gold standard for diagnosing iron deficiency anemia. Red cell ring protoporphyrin is also other, which will increase in iron deficiency anemia, and the lead poisoning. So the mechanism is ferrochelatase catalase incorporation of zinc instead of iron to macrocytic anemia. We do peripheral smear where it shows hypersegmented neutrophil on the macrovalocyte. So in that case, it showed that we should do bone marrow examination to confirm. The other is we do serum B12 vitamin level and folic acid. The other is we should also challenge vitamin B12 for folic acid therapy if this showed or proved with megaloblastic marrow and anemia improves with challenge, so we will treat the deficiency with vitamin B12 or folate. If bone marrow examination or serum level showed non-megaloblastic marrow or no improvement, so in that case consider the drug-induced type of megaloblastic anemia. So this drug are phenytoin, one example, and some cyanotic heart disease, hypothyroidism, and Down syndrome can be considered. If the peripheral smear didn't show the hypersegmented neutrophil or
macrovalocyte. So in that case, you should do reticulocyte.
Morphology megaloblastosis. Peripheral smear will show increased MCV so that you get macrovalocytes. Nuclear hypersegmentation peripheral neutrophil is the most important, and that if a single specific globe neutrophil that diagnostic, but if that are 5, we should get 5%. So this is what you can see: a multiple lobed or hypersegmented neutrophil. This is total neutrophil. You can see ovalo macrocyte here. The other approach to normocytic anemia, in normocytic anemia, you should do reticulocyte count. If reticulocyte is normal or reduced, you should do serum iron. If serum iron is low, that's iron deficiency anemia or anemia of chronic disease. Anemia of chronic disease. If serum iron is normal or high, in that case, you should do bone marrow biopsy that will show you infiltrative disease of bone marrow by leukemia or metastatic from solid tumors, or it could be a plastic anemia. If reticulocyte count is increased, that means bone marrow is responding. That means there is hemolysis. So we should test for hemolysis. If it is yes, we work for hemolytic anemia and we treat the cause of hemolytic anemia. If tests for hemolysis is negative, it will be hemorrhage or recovery from treatment of deficiencies. Simplified approach to diagnosis of hemolytic anemia, we can use supportive laboratory like LDH and haptoglobin. The most important is examination of blood smear. So in blood smear, we can get spherocytes in hemolysis. So that hemolysis, if autoimmune hemolytic anemia there, they are positive for combistase. If the membrane or the RBC defected there, the combistase will be negative, like in hereditary spherocytosis. In peripheral smear, you can get also schistocytes that is because of microangiopathic hemolytic anemia. These are like in hemolytic uremic syndrome, DIC, TTP. Macrocytic hypochromic cell can be seen in thalassemia. In thalassemia, the diagnostic one is doing hemoglobin electrophoresis. The same is true for sickle disease. There are biceps in glucose 6 phosphate deficiencies. Normal cell can be there for proximal nocturnal hemoglobin and glucose 6 phosphate deficiency. In peripheral smear also we can get the malaria parasite itself. Confirmatory test for different anemia, thalassemia, hemoglobin electrophoresis, hereditary spherocytosis. We do flow cytometry and osmotic fragility test is the test for hereditary spherocytosis. Enzymopathy, we should do level of enzymes. Plastic anemia, it could be from infections, so the diagnosis of the infection can diagnose. Fanconi anemia, chromosome breakage test. Hematologic malignancy, bone marrow, and immunophenotyping. Confirmatory test for anemia, others like autoimmune hemolytic anemia, antibodies called warm antibodies, PNH, flow cytometry that are positive for CD15 and the CD59. Diamond Blackfan anemia, RBC ADA level is the diagnostic and the mutation for RAS can be studied. Sideroblastic anemia, bone marrow aspiration, megaloblastic anemia, the serum of vitamin B12 and folic acid. Proximal cold hemoglobin urea, donors, Landsteiner antibodies, congenital dyserythropoietic anemia, bone marrow aspiration, the gene mutation, pure red cell aplasia, parvovirus, B19 serologic analysis. Treatment principle, is treating the cause is the most important. So for example, rate is an nutritional deficiency. Blood transfusion indications are like general appearance of the patient, hemoglobin level. If the patient cannot give the consent for a transfusion, we can do recombinant human erythropoietin with iron therapy. Prevention is the most important, so that's one of proper nutrition. Identifying the causes and treating that one, and in very low birth weight infantis, delaying the clamp of the umbilical cord, and some iron supplementation are there. So in summary, anemia never normal. So we should determine whether that's chronic or acute and calculate the retic index, look for the smear. Thank you for watching.